Veronica's eyes began to flutter open to the soft, rhythmic sound of chopping, a knife meeting a cutting board, steady and purposeful. Then the gentle sizzle of something hitting a hot pan. For a moment, still wrapped in a haze of sleep, she imagined someone in the kitchen, making breakfast just for her. The warmth of it settled over her like a half-formed dream. Someone caring, someone thoughtful, someone who wanted to be there. But then, as the seconds stretched on, something felt off. She inhaled, expecting the rich aroma of coffee or butter or eggs or something, anything. But there was nothing. Just the stale air of her quiet apartment. The illusion cracked. And as she pried her heavy eyelids open, reality settled back into place. The TV was still on, playing some early morning cooking show. The voices and sounds of the kitchen weren't real. She was alone. Her gaze dropped to the coffee table, where an empty wine bottle stood like a reminder of the night before. A scoff pushed past her lips as she rubbed her temples. How pathetic. She had actually put herself out there for once, had allowed herself to step out of her usual caution, let down her walls just a little. And for what? For him to ignore her? For 2 months, Honeycrisp had practically thrown himself at her. Their conversation had been light, playful, and brimming with flirtation. And yet, the one time she extended the invitation, the one time she gave him an open door, he done absolutely nothing with it. She rarely put herself out there, and, when she did, she got the response she typically wanted. So why not this time? Had she misread things? Had she played too hard to get? Or worse, had she finally given him what he wanted, a sign of her interest, only for him to decide he no longer cared? Her lips pressed into a thin line as she reached for her phone, irritation bubbling up inside her. If he had no intention of showing up, why even bother responding last night? Why make her wait? Replaying their conversations in her head, wondering what she had done wrong. She turned on the screen, fully prepared to see nothing from him. But before she could even check, a different name caught her attention. Oliver. Her breath hitched. All the frustration she had been directing towards Honeycrisp vanished in an instant as she stared at the message, something hopeful flickering to life inside her. Hey, you up? Can we talk? Her fingers tightened around the phone. Oliver never reached out first. Never. She was always the one sending the first message. Always the one checking in. Always the one trying to squeeze water from a damn rock. But this time it was him. Maybe this was finally the moment. Finally the time he would let her back in. When he would want her back in. She quickly typed the response before she could overthink it. I was already asleep last night. I'm off today. Would love to talk. Maybe we can catch up over dinner? I was already thinking of making a pot roast today. Remembering that was his favorite. She stared at the screen for a moment before hitting send. Pot roast. She knew the second he read that he would remember. He would know she still cared. That she still knew him, even after everything. Setting her phone down, she exhaled and shut off the TV. The bitter thoughts faded into the background as she stood and stretched. She wasn't going to waste any more energy on that. If he wanted to ghost her, fine. She had more important things to focus on now. She grabbed the empty wine bottle, tossing it in the trash before straightening up the living room. If Oliver was coming over tonight, she wanted things to be perfect. For the first time in a long time, she felt like she had something real to look forward to.